Should you work for free? Could exposure actually be worth it? In this episode of a series on how to price your art, I go into the do's and don'ts of working for free. So, in the previous episodes, I discussed how to determine the absolute minimum you need to make on something, and then I discussed one of the ways you can get a customer to pay more than that for your work. More on that later in the series. So, then why now a video about working for free, should you? It is a topic that will be on the mind of many of us artists, as we get asked so often to work for free. To be fair, it is not just artists. I discussed this with a plumber a while back, and he said that friends will ask him to do things for him for free. So working for free, should you? In principle, no. No, you shouldn't, but you can sometimes occasionally get things other than money out of such a project, and then it can theoretically be an option. If you have the spare time for it, you still need to be making enough money to pay the bills, right? First up, exposure. Is that ever worth it? Usually, no. I'd say that it is almost always not worth it. Usually someone will have a project, a comic, a t-shirt they want art for, and in their minds it will be huge, and if you would just work for free, they can pay you when the millions start rolling in. The main problem usually is that if they don't even have the money to pay you a fixed upfront price, one that would be low in comparison to their other business expenses, then they don't have the money to make the project a success in the first place, and there will not be millions rolling in, and so you will get a percentage of almost zero revenue. A comic needs editors, artists, writers, printers, warehousing, logistics, marketing, lawyers, writing up contracts, all sorts of expenses. T-shirts need t-shirts, printing, warehousing, logistics, marketing, etc. Paying you should only be a small part of the budget they need. If they don't even have the money to pay you for your illustration, they sure don't have money to pay for any of the other stuff. Often you cannot even use the art for other purposes, and so you end up getting paid nothing, and here the base amount you need to make calculation comes into play again. You should look for gigs that pay more per hour. But what about exposure? In projects like mentioned above, exposure typically means that their mom gets to see it, and their mom would not ever buy your art. Your art is not being shown to your target audience. Add to that, you can nowadays arrange for your own exposure on social media. Thank you very much. If you become a larger social media account, many thousands of people, potentially customers, can see it. But here's the thing, advertising costs money. When you advertise, you pay for exposure. So can exposure be worth it? In short, yes, it can be worth it. Big brands don't pay for advertising for nothing. Advertising is the main source of revenue for big platforms, but there your ad gets shown to stupendous amounts of people. The trick is to find a way to get your work shown to the right people. I have tried paying influencers a while back, and it worked really well. Their accounts had followers that could be interested in my work, and so showing my work to their followers really had a big positive effect on my account. I didn't even always pay for it. Sometimes they just borrowed my posts without asking me, but it was beneficial to me too, as people discovered my account that way. I actually also tried advertising, and it is interesting that these work differently from posts shown by influencers. Ads are shown more to people who are not looking for it and who are trying to do something else, while influencers can show your work to people who are actively searching for it. I even had a huge account show my art once. They really blew up my account. So exposure can be worth it if you are dealing with the right people. Even then, you're probably going to show art you already made. You're not going to make custom art for them. Another reason to work for free is if you are working for yourself. If I'm working for free, I'm working for me, as they say. Instead of collaborating with a writer and drawing their comic for them, and then having to share ownership, why not tell your own stories? That way you get to decide what it is about, what the characters are like, what you would like to draw, when it will be finished, the number of pages, etc. What you should also not do is do custom design work just for a job interview. They should be satisfied to see a portfolio, and maybe you can talk at length with them and explain how you arrived at certain design decisions so that they know how you work. They only ever need a portfolio for that, or at least don't do it for free, or make sure you get something out of it. If you don't have a portfolio, that might be the right time to create one. You can spend some free time creating art to build up a portfolio. That would be an investment in your career. In other industries, people do sometimes work on spec, as they call it. Spec stands for speculation, and you are speculating that there will be an interest for the thing you are making, but the odds are often long, and you are often competing against the best. It's often just a lottery. For example, screenwriters will write screenplays on spec. If they do sell a script, it can sell for quite a high number, but around 75,000 or so screenplays get submitted to Hollywood production companies every year. Only 500 get made into a movie every year, and only maybe around 50 of those were not commissioned in-house at these production companies. So the odds are really long. The reason it might still be a good idea is that these scripts can act as a sort of portfolio and can land you a job in a writer's room on a television series or so. And these scripts are not made for one production company specifically. With visual arts, that would be different. Spec work would mean that you would be making art for one specific client. And you can't interview the customer beforehand, so the chance that what you made is not the right solution for them is considerable. More on customer acquisition in another series I hope to create soon. And you can also do free work for friends and family, especially if they helped you out in the past also. But that is at your discretion. Charities are an option also if you really support the charity, but you should be careful there because many people who do things for charities do get paid. You really should get paid too. Remember the first episode in the series, you need to make enough money to survive, and by working for free for a charity, you are actually donating a quite considerable amount because art tends to be labor intensive. It is an opportunity cost. You cannot work and make money while you are spending time making art for a charity. If you're not making money, it is still a good idea to create art that is personal to you. You can do something for free just because it's fun. No one has to pay you to go snowboarding, for example, but then you're not making money. To summarize, you should almost never work for free. When exposure is worth it, you will be asked to pay for it, and you will probably present art you already created. In the next episode in this series, I discuss a way you can make a lot of money without having to do anything. So if you don't want to miss that, please subscribe to see that next video.